Hi students, so I'm sure all of you were waiting for this update. So the CET Cell has released the Provisional Merit List. So for those of you who appeared for the Maharashtra MBA CET 25 or CMAT 25 and some of the other exams, now the final merit list will be announced very soon, but before that, the policy that CET Cell follows is that they release a Provisional Merit List. Now there is one action that you need to take, and that is something that I'm going to cover in this video. And then I'll also talk about how do you make estimate in terms of what the cutoffs would be and where you can look at these cutoffs. So the first thing that you'll have to do is on the CET Cell website, you will see there are two things here, which is provisional merit list for the all India candidates and provisional merit list for the Maharashtra candidates. So what happens is students who participate from Maharashtra, their name will appear in both the Maharashtra list as well as the all India list. So their name will appear in both the list. The number will of course be different. So Maharashtra list is specifically for Maharashtra state candidates, whereas all India list includes students who are from Maharashtra and those who are not from Maharashtra. Okay, so you can refer to both the list. The important thing is to check the details. So what you need to do is go through this particular document and look at your rank, look at the data that is against your entry. So your 10, 12, whatever data that you had submitted, just check if all of that data is in place or not. I'll talk about it as we progress. So the other thing that you need to consider is by when you are supposed to do this. So they have clearly mentioned the important dates. Under important dates you will find that you have to complete this activity by 22nd. So by 22nd July up to 5 p.m. you need to check your data and raise any concern if you have. So it may happen that your data is inaccurate. There is some error that has come in. So you have to inform them that this is an issue that has happened and rectify my data, which means that the final merit list will be slightly different compared to the provisional merit list. For some students, maybe the data that you had entered because of some document issue or whatever, that data is not reflecting the reality. So maybe you had submitted, let's say, percentage for graduation and your actual percentage is slightly different. So now you will have to let them know that that is an error that has happened. Okay, so you have to complete this before 22nd. You do not have a lot of time, so you have roughly about I would say from the time of recording this video, less than 24 hours. So make sure that you act very, very quickly on this. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the state merit list. Okay, now in state merit list, you'll be able to see all of these students will essentially be Maharashtra candidates, some or the other type. What you need to check is there are a lot of these data points. So starting from the percentile, whichever exam that you had submitted. So for Maharashtra CET percentile, you will see HSC diploma marks, SSC aggregate marks, SSC science marks and so on. So all of these fields you should check. So whether you are, let's say, 19.99, 89.23, 88.6, every single data point, make sure that you check this. Okay, then it will show things like PWD, SLPWD, minority type, is EWS or not, TFWS or not. So let's say you wanted to apply for TFWS, right? And maybe you didn't submit that at the time of entry. You can let them know, right? So maybe you didn't have the document. So all of these issues that may have happened, make sure that you let CET Cell know, and this is something that you have to do through the candidate dashboard itself. So they have given instructions as to how you are supposed to do this. So firstly, candidate shall raise the grievance about correction through his or her login. So you have to log into the dashboard and then inform them, right? The second thing is the application of such candidate should be reverted to the candidate in his or her login for rectification. So you will be able to rectify the application form that you had submitted, and you have to upload the requisite document. So if, let's say, your 10 standard data is incorrect, then you re-upload that particular document. Okay. The status of acceptance rejection shall be available in login along with latest receipt cum acknowledgement. So once you do that by tomorrow, because I don't know whether till what time they will be working on this. So let's assume that at night they're not going to work. So by tomorrow you will hear from them whether they have accepted or rejected the submission that you have. And then finally, if you have selected physical scrutiny mode, you have to visit FC for grievance. And this is very important because if you go to the FC, it is much easier to, let's say, whoever you're talking to tell them exactly what is the issue that has happened with your document. Okay, so follow the procedure that they have mentioned. You just have to upload the documents and hopefully they will work on it. Okay. Now, what will happen because of this is the final ranks will change. So what you see right now, these are provisional ranks. So the SLG, MN that you see there, these are essentially ranks. So the ranks will change, right? So even for the AI merit list, if I look at that, and as you can see, right, the first name that was there in the Maharashtra list also appears here, but here it is number 3, right? So there are 2 other candidates who have got, so there's rank 1 and 2, and then there is the rank 3 of the person who actually has rank 1 in the Maharashtra list. Okay, so don't worry too much about it right now. Apart from checking the data, you don't have to do anything, because see, final merit list will be, so they have also given the date for that. Let's have a look at it. The final merit list is going to be released on 24th. After that, there won't be any change that will happen. So that will be your final merit number. Now, what do you do with this data? Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is the cutoff change from year to year, right? So it's not going to be exactly the same, but at least you can make an estimate as to whether XYZ institute might be something that can materialize this year, or it may not happen. So what you need to do is, there are 2 things that I would suggest. Firstly, I'm sure all of you are aware, but we have something called B School Zone. Now on the B School Zone, we have uploaded information about cutoffs for majority colleges, and if you look at CET specifically, at least for some of the top 10-15 institutes, you will find the data. So the same data which can also be accessed on the CET Cell website, it's just that you'll have to struggle a little bit to get that information. For the top colleges, we have made that information available. So what you can do is, you can go to this page, so bschoolzone.imsindia.com, and then go to the cutoff section, CET cutoffs, and there you will see this information. You can apply filters like which round, what is the type of cutoff, and so on. So you'll be able to do that, and then for example, here for the top colleges, you can see clearly. So I've taken open state seats, right? So Maharashtra state candidates. JBIMS, for example, you can see rank closed at rank 45, right? So 99.94 in round 1. Okay, so that information, you can just look at this information, look at the rank that you have in the final merit list, and make an estimate. Okay, so final merit list, there could be some changes that happen because of the document inaccuracies and so on. Okay, so have a look at this. Then for colleges that you don't see here, because of course there will be a lot of institutes and it's not possible to enter everything on this website. So that is why you can always go back to the CET Cell website and find that information. Okay, so if you go to the CET Cell website, you have to have a look at this part of it. So here it says cutoff list for the AI seats round wise for 24-25, and even for the Maharashtra state seats. Now the way it appears is, this is how that document will look. Looks like a fairly complicated document, but it isn't that complicated if you start reading it. So for example, now this college, right, the first college that appears, obviously we have not put that college on the B School Zone, but how you read that information is, okay, if you are open home university candidate, right, so this is Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. So if you are from Amravati, then obviously you will be home university for that, right? So you look at this open SC, ST, NTA, NTB, NTC, and so on, and you'll be able to see the rank and the percentile. Now have a look at both the cutoffs. If your data, right, so your final rank and percentile is something that is in that ballpark, then you know that of course I'll be able to make it to this particular institute. If it is way off, mostly you will not be able to make it, right? And then similarly for others, so there is home university seat allotted to other than home university candidates, and all of that information, right? So in these documents, you will be able to find institutes that we have not been able to cover because of course, there are so many colleges, it's not possible to cover everything, but have a look at that. But for now, I don't want you to spend too much time on that activity. I would rather have you look at this particular merit list, confirm the data, see if everything that you had entered is accurate, and let them know as early as possible, right? So again, to close this video, you have to look at the data, you have to inform the CET cell through the candidate login that there is something wrong with the information, and you have to complete this exercise by 22nd July, and that too up to 5 p.m. So make sure that you finish this. The final merit list will be out on the 24th, post which will have anyway another video in which we'll cover how to read those cutoffs, and we'll make a slide on, let's say, at least the top 10, 15, 20 colleges that you can expect, right? So that is how we are going to approach this. For now, focus on this activity. We'll have another video after 24th. Okay. I hope this has helped you. Wish all of you all the best and see you very soon. Take care.